Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw COUNTOUT, the only pro wrestling podcast that we count stuff down on. Here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson.
It may be the only one, period.
That's a factual statement, what I said. What you said needs some research.
Yes.
There might be additional pro wrestling podcasts where they count things down. If there are, I have no idea what they are. So we like to think we're the only one. In any event, it's right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. It's also available wherever podcasts are, including iTunes.
Yes.
Stitcher.
SoundCloud.
Podbean.
iHeartRadio.
Google Play.
But not Spotify.
Not Spotify, man.
Yet.
Not Spotify. We're not there yet. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Earlier today is Tuesday, as we're filming this, we had like 50 people watching us in the live stream, which you guys can check out at $5 a month on the Patreon.
What?
Patreon.com/Steve and Larson. I almost said $5 a week.
Ooh.
That's a bit pricey.
Yeah.
Just to watch a crap live stream of our show.
I can't stop look. I'm really tired today, but I look at the monitor here, and I look stoned.
Yeah, I think I look stoned too. People have called me out on like saying, drunk Steve is hilarious. I'm like, I have never been drunk on camera. Like, we've never done that. We were drinking during Steve W and Fun Wrestling yesterday, but it was like 2 beers can do nothing to me.
Yeah.
There is no situation which 2 beers will affect me at all.
And while weed is legal, I think, here in California, that's not something I partake in.
As much as people would love to think that we're a couple of potheads, we're not.
We're not.
I can't even tell it last time I actually had weed.
I've just been up since 6:30 in the morning.
I'm not even against weed at all. I think it's great. I just don't smoke it.
When used responsibly, yes.
Yeah. If you got medical conditions.
Absolutely.
Or like too much stress in your life.
Yeah.
Light up. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of stress in my
responsibly.
life. Yeah. Absolutely. Anyways, enough of that PSA for drugs.
Yeah, let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
What? Okay, it's going on tomorrow, Larson.
Correct.
Interesting. So we figured we would go all in on the Royal Rumble this weekend.
It did so well for us last weekend.
Exactly. Big numbers last weekend.
So we're gonna do today people we think should win the Royal Rumble.
Should win. They should win.
And this is largely based on our own kind of
creative predilections.
Yes, dream booking.
Yeah, exactly.
This is us with storylines, by and large, that WWE has laid the groundwork for, but not utilized to their fullest.
Right. Number 9.
9.
Baron Corbin.
Now, Baron has improved greatly since his call-up.
He had a great 2016.
He did. Contender for the most improved wrestler of 2016.
Easily.
I
would say.
And he's already inserted himself in the main event scene on SmackDown. And now if you want to build a new huge star, a new dominant heel for SmackDown Live, have him win the Rumble, contend for the WWE title against either AJ Styles or John Cena. He doesn't even have to win. Just him in a title program will be enough to elevate his stock, and you have a huge star, monster heel to dominate SmackDown for years to come.
He really is SmackDown's version of Braun Strowman. Baron Corbin, it's obviously not the same sort of monster guy. This guy, he's more of a mercenary.
Yeah, he does it for the money.
He does it, I'm in it for the money. But like you said, he's improved in leaps and bounds. Like, he definitely knows who he is. He doesn't stray far from that. And given how limited SmackDown is with their roster, Baron Corbin is kind of an X factor who makes everything interesting at this point, because he was sort of in a feud with Kalisto for a very long time. He was in a feud with Dolph for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then I'm missing one name and I forget who it is, but I thought he was in a feud with somebody else for a very long time. But the fact that he comes out, he challenges Cena, he's in a match with Cena on SmackDown, and pretty much anytime Cena's in a match these days, it's kind of big news.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just another day at the park like it used to be. These days, Cena is on his time with the WWE is essential and it's vital. and because he's not going to be around long. He's like a part-timer. And so the fact that they booked him into a match with John Cena, of course he lost.
But he put in a good showing.
Yeah, he did. He put in a good showing. Cena sold for him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think the interesting thing about Baron Corbin, too, is that if he's standing tall at the end of the Rumble, that's a lot of great heel heat on him because nobody expects him.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few legitimate bad guys that people still love to boo.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wink and a nudge with Baron Corbin. He's not like,
he doesn't crack jokes.
Doesn't crack any jokes. He doesn't mind being a dick. He really gets off on hurting people, or his character does. And people still want to boo him in the way that I think heels. He doesn't have X-Pac heat.
No.
He's a good heel.
Yes.
Number 8.
8.
Sami Zayn.
So following the events,
let's go.
Following the events of Raw, Sami Zayn essentially took Seth Rollins' spot in the Rumble.
Yes.
And as we talked about on Tuesday's Raw recap, when someone posed the question to us about whether Sami Zayn would be the number 1 entrant in the Rumble, I think we both said yes, good chance it happens. And if that does happen, it feeds into Sami's underdog story because it'd probably be placed in the 1 spot by Stephanie, who seemingly has a beef with him. And as we've seen, I think it's only happened once before when HBK entered number 1 and won the whole thing.
Right.
Pop. Huge pop.
Oh, it'd be a
People
massive pop.
want to love Sami. They want to cheer for him. They like him. They want to pop for him.
If there wasn't so much...
Am I right, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, I want validation.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree. What I was waiting to talk. That's what I often do.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I was gonna piggyback that and say the thing about Sami Zayn is that they can literally plug his story in at any time. And so I think they should probably wait. Like you've got all these major talents, part-timers and full-timers, and you kind of got to wait until there's like an injury bug or something, because then you can tell the Sami Zayn story. Because it can happen at any time. Like, he's not going to get stale. His gimmick is he's a terrible wrestler who won't go away.
But as you said before, you need to spread the money around. Goldberg-Lesnar is a money match with or without a title involved.
Oh, dude, I am completely...
Cena-Undertaker is a money match without a title involved. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the Universal title with the story they've had,
and
with the matches they've put on.
And here's how you keep it fresh. Throw Chris Jericho in there. That's how you keep it fresh. Best friend versus old best friend.
Yep.
New best friend versus old best friend, not best friend. So, no, I totally agree, and I would love this. It's interesting that he... Number 1, there was that sort of minor report that he might have some heat backstage. They're closing the show with Lesnar, Goldberg, and Taker. And I mean, to me, I don't know. These days, I don't know, because Braun Strowman evidently is not going to be winning now. Now they're saying it's Goldberg. You're right. Goldberg-Lesnar doesn't need the Universal title at all. I love Sami Zayn to win the Rumble. I love it. People would pop huge. I just think with all this other big talent, all these other big storylines, it would just feel odd if one of the bigger names didn't come out on top. It would just be weird.
Here's the thing with Sami, I think. When we do this list next year, if we do, he's going to be way lower down.
I agree totally.
He's going to be top 5 easily.
Yeah, no, I agree. But here's also the thing that I just thought of is if you're going to tell the story of Sami Zayn going to the Rumble, I'm going to the Rumble and then going to Mania. It needs to start before. As much as I would love for it to come out of the blue.
Oh yeah,
it needs to start.
They need to start
before
laying the groundwork.
The Rumble
months in advance.
Well, I mean, you look at the Daniel Bryan template, and that's how you do it.
Yes. What are the odds that Sami eliminates Braun Strowman from the Rumble?
Very good.
Yes.
Like very, very good.
Yes. If Braun is going to get eliminated, it's going to be by Sami Zayn.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. No, I mean, but Sami is not going anywhere. Like you said, by this time next year, he is going to be top 5. I have every inclination to believe that.
Yes.
Number 7. The Undertaker.
You know, when all the news broke that we weren't going to get Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, I'll be honest, I was disappointed.
A little disappointed.
I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Because it seems, especially, there's been reports going around lately that the Undertaker had hip surgery, but it was kind of a stopgap measure. He'll need a full hip replacement at some point after his in-ring career is over.
Yeah.
So who really knows how much longer he has as an active wrestler, even just once a year?
Yeah.
So I don't know why Vince changed his mind, allegedly, on not having this match happen. Undertaker, Cena. And if Cena beats AJ for the belt at Rumble, Undertaker wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
Title versus career.
No, I know. I love it. There's so much money to be had there. There's a lot of money there. It makes me wonder if Wrestle Kingdom had any bearing on that. If they thought that AJ versus Cena would be like the bigger sort of more apt to be a 5-star match.
Maybe.
You know, I still don't think we're going to see Cena Undertaker at Mania, but I do think that I understand that it's more dramatic with the title and there's more at stake, career versus title. Yeah. But I just think it's unnecessary. Like Cena Taker's like big enough.
It sells itself.
Yeah, it does. But I still think it's going to be Cena AJ or a triple threat.
Yeah.
Number 6.
6.
Goldberg. Okay, go ahead.
Goldberg.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Anyways. Goldberg. It'd be huge. He's number 1. Betting odds right now.
But it would be...
He's arguably the most over guy in the company.
It would be a very interesting story to have Goldberg, after being out of WWE for 12 years, come back, not only destroy Brock Lesnar his first match back, win the Royal Rumble, go to WrestleMania, win the Universal title, and then have, a short 1 month or 2 title run. And I'll post a link to this article in the description. He did an interview somewhere, and they asked him about, Goldberg, would you ever consider another full-time run in WWE? And he more or less said, if I remember this correctly, that if he were to win the Universal title, he wouldn't do, obviously, a full-time schedule, house shows and whatnot, but he said he would have to be on TV more often.
Yeah.
So, maybe the thought has crossed his mind that, if he were to win the Rumble, were to win the Universal title, that we could be seeing him far more often.
Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to wrap my head around like what the sequence of events would be, because here's where I think the roadblock is.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Goldberg wins the Rumble, wins the Universal title.
Okay, hold on a second. Goldberg wins the Rumble, then he wins the Universal title at Mania?
Yeah.
By beating Kevin Owens.
Or Roman Reigns.
Okay, so you're putting off. They're not going to have Goldberg face Roman Reigns.
Probably not.
Kevin Owens.
It'll be Owens.
And I could totally see Kevin Owens, because this is the road I'm trying to travel here.
Okay.
I could see Kevin Owens retaining at the Rumble, given what we saw on Raw, and it's a no DQ match, so that actually helps Kevin Owens.
Yes.
Goldberg wins over Owens at Mania. Then what happens?
Then what's the next? I guess the next major pay-per-view after Mania is SummerSlam, but that's 4 months away. I think that's too long of a run.
Yeah, that's off. That's way off.
What about
Money in the Bank?
Yeah, that's June.
Money in the Bank.
Have him drop the belt to Lesnar.
Lesnar cashes in. He wins Money in the Bank, cashes in that night.
Well, I don't know if Lesnar wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But Lesnar wins the belt at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So Lesnar finally gets his win over Goldberg, plus wins the Universal title. He has a huge Universal title match against somebody at SummerSlam, can drop it then. If need be. Probably to Reigns.
Yeah.
No, there you go. That's how you book the first 8 months of 2017 for the Universal title.
No,
Done.
I like it. It's good. Number 5. Braun Strowman. Braun.
Speaking of wrestlers who've improved a great deal over the last year or so.
Oh, I love Braun Strowman.
Braun has been doing great work. Earlier in the week, late last week, he was a favorite to win the Rumble, and all indications from WWE programming made it seem like we were going to get Braun versus Reigns for the Universal title at Mania. But then there was rumors circulating the internet that Vince was down on that idea.
Yeah.
So it may still happen. We don't know, but it seems to be up in the air. And based on what happened on Raw this past week, there was no altercation, no confrontation between Braun and Reigns at any juncture. So maybe they're just setting up stories for the Rumble match itself.
Yeah.
And they'll move on to Reigns and Strowman.
The more I think about what we just talked about with Goldberg and Lesnar, the more I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Because it elevates the Universal title way past where it is right now, because right now it's crap. And by making that as special as I feel they've made AJ Styles in the world title, and now especially with Cena, I feel like Lesnar and Goldberg can make that Universal title so special. And that's why, like, when I think of Braun Strowman winning at this point, I'm like, okay, well, that'll just put him in a program with Roman Reigns.
I know. And I kind of wish that they'd kept the U.S. title on Reigns.
Yeah, I know.
And then the Strowman Reigns program could have been for the U.S. title.
Yeah, I know, which would have been great.
Yeah.
Which is where Roman Reigns should have started anyways, with the U.S. title back when they disbanded the Shield.
I know. And then give Strowman another year to develop so that WrestleMania 34, maybe then he'll be ready for a world title program.
Yeah. And they're making new belts, allegedly.
Yeah.
So give Braun Strowman, because that little U.S. title would look so tiny on him. Give him like a big, giant U.S.
He needs
belt.
one like the Gift of the Gods title.
I know,
Lucha
exactly.
Underground.
Yeah,
that belt's huge.
Giant thing. No, I like Braun. I mean, he was our favorite because it seemed to make sense.
Yeah.
As of a week ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Goldberg Lesnar thing, I think it would not surprise me at all if they went in that direction at this point. But I love Braun Strowman. I'd love to see him win the Rumble. I think. What do you think the crowd reaction would be if Braun won the Rumble?
I think there'd be people in the audience like us who would cheer. Because I would cheer.
It would have to kind of depend on how it goes down a little bit. He'd have to show some metal, man. When they have him backing down from fights with big guys, that's horrible.
I don't like that.
That's a recipe for disaster.
I know. I don't like that at all.
I can't stand that, man.
Yeah. That's not good.
He needs to show some sack. He needs to, like...
I know.
His whole shtick is give me better competition, and then he's going to back down from competition. That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I don't like it when they book wrestlers that inconsistently.
They need to correct the ship with Braun Strowman.
Yep.
Although something tells me Big Show's going to eliminate him. I think at this point, I'm wondering Big Show's going to eliminate Braun Strowman.
I think it's going to be the other way around.
Is Big Show in the Rumble?
Yeah. And then Sammy's going to eliminate.
Oh, you think Braun? Okay.
And then Sammy's going to eliminate Braun.
Yeah, you're probably right, huh? Number 4. Shinsuke Nakamura.
This is mostly because you keep saying that there's no reason for him to be in NXT anymore.
There's no reason for him to be in NXT anymore. NXT is doing just fine without him. I'll be honest with you. I don't even tune in to NXT for him anymore. I really want him to be on Raw.
Yeah.
I think it'll be just a breath of fresh air on Raw. Triple H has even said that he has a, quote, clear path to Raw. He said that in an interview. And it's so funny too, because Triple H also said, like, when presented with that question of why isn't Shinsuke Nakamura on main roster, he said, I think it's funny when people say that because, like, you get to see him every week on NXT. It's like, dude, you know that it's a difference there. You know that there's a difference there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a very special thing when he shows up, and it'd be a blast if he was in the Rumble. It'd be an absolute blast.
Well, not only if he were in it, but if he won it.
Made
his debut at the Rumble, won it.
Crowd would pop huge. I just wonder if it would be... There are certain names here that I just wonder if... They need to book this thing correctly because they've been pushing Goldberg Lesnar. Goldberg Lesnar. They've been pushing Braun Strowman.
Kind of the Undertaker as well.
And the Undertaker as like your top guy. So I wonder if it would be... God, I don't know. Would the crowd be underwhelmed if it's anyone but those 4 guys?
But I also think since they're putting those 4 so much to the forefront, and considering they're all, forces of nature basically, they could all kind of eliminate each other.
No, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
And have someone else take advantage of that and win the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
And doing that could set up some potential Mania matches too.
Yeah. This is going to be really fun. What's funny is that the infusion of NXT, especially just sort of the last 12 months that NXT has had, makes this Rumble so much more fun because you have an entire brand of potential surprise entrants.
Yeah.
That's what's great about it, is that you're not just going to outside the company. You're not just going to sort of, I want to say washed up, but returns.
Yeah.
You got an entire brand of people that people would be excited to see. Like Ty Dillinger at number 10 has to happen, right?
Yeah.
That has to happen.
Yeah, you would think so.
Samoa Joe has to happen. We're going to talk to him in a little bit.
Let me ask you this. Say Shinsuke doesn't debut at the Rumble.
Okay.
Which should, but won't happen. I'm thinking now the odds, and I want to get your take on this, of him making his debut is whenever they have the next draft. They'll give him the Finn Balor treatment.
The Finn Balor treatment?
Draft him high, exceptionally high, top 3, and put him right in the program for the main title on whatever show he's on.
You know, I said when they did that with Finn Balor before the draft, I said if they draft him instead of making a big splash, that's a shame. But boy, oh boy, he made a big splash regardless. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would not criticize that move if that was the move. Because that's been done last year, I'm not huge on it. I don't know.
But I mean, other than him just kind of randomly showing up the Raw after Mania.
You know what I would prefer? This is what I would prefer.
Okay.
And since this is a fantasy booking
Yes,
episode,
absolutely.
this is what I would prefer. Somehow, some way, AJ makes it to Raw. Okay? You still have Finn there. You still have the club there. Finn goes heel, joins up with the club, and they just destroy AJ. Their new thing is beat up AJ Styles. Maybe they add somebody else, so it's like 4-on-1. And AJ somewhat evens the odds with Shinsuke Nakamura. Because seeing those two together and seeing the kind of matches they could put on together in conjunction as a team or whatever, would be so it'd be so geek out. And there's history between all of those people.
Yeah.
That to me would be a lot of fun.
Okay.
I would love that.
Okay.
Because there's always that thing of, well, who's his mystery partner? You know, that kind of thing. And I don't necessarily want it to be in a tag match necessarily. I don't know how you do it so it wouldn't be in a cheesy tag match. But you'd want, like, who's going to help AJ Styles kind of thing. And it ends up being Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, that's never going to happen because my stupid fantasy booking is probably crap. But I would love to see Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles as the faces teaming up against an evil Bullet Club. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Be cool. Anyways, I don't like the idea of I know they did it right with Finn Balor last year. I still don't like it. Probably be cool, but I still don't like it. Anyways, he better not end up on SmackDown. He better have a Raw.
Yeah.
Number 3. Speaking of which, Finn Balor. Demon Balor.
Yeah, Finn never lost the Universal title.
That's correct.
He got hurt.
Yeah.
So people have been anxious to see him come back from injury. And the latest reports suggest that he won't be healthy in time to return for the Rumble. Mm-hmm. But then, he'll go on Twitter and someone asked him, like, what are the odds you're going to be at the Rumble? And he said 30-1.
Yeah, that's good. Idiot. I honestly think that of everybody on this list, Finn would get the biggest pop. I think who else gets a bigger pop winning the Rumble than Finn Balor? Bigger pop than Goldberg, I think. Bigger pop than Sami Zayn, I think.
More so than Shinsuke?
Yeah, because the general Raw audience has had a taste of Finn. Not everybody's had a taste of Shinsuke Nakamura. Finn, people love Finn. If you have moments in the Rumble where Finn has to eliminate, like, the Undertaker.
Yeah.
If you have moments like that, because he's still kind of small.
Yeah.
If you have moments like that, and he knows how to play the drama in that ring, people would mark out so fucking much.
Yeah.
It would be the. I don't see anybody who's going to get a bigger pop than Finn Balor.
Even really number
don't.
1.
Number 2.
2.
Samoa Joe.
As of right now, if anybody,
put me in the Rumble.
It's not Regal's call, man.
You'll have to talk to my manager.
You've already done this bit before.
Triple H.
You've already done this bit. You did it last week.
Triple H.
You already did it.
I'm sorry. Samoa Joe.
If anybody from NXT, for sure,
yes,
is going to debut in the Rumble and have a really good showing, if not win it, is going to be Samoa Joe.
Guaranteed the next guy to debut from NXT is going to be, well, no, technically no.
It'll be Ty Dillinger at 10.
Well, depending on where they come out. Samoa Joe might come out late. I could see Samoa Joe coming out late.
Yeah.
And being a big shock to everybody.
Like 21, 22.
Yeah, I could see that. It's funny after talking about it, I could see SmackDown getting the Rumble win with Samoa Joe. Because I think he's going to be SmackDown. I think he's great for SmackDown.
Yes.
Do you imagine Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin facing off? That'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
But Samoa Joe would have to be a heel. That's the thing.
Here's one of the most exciting things about Samoa Joe on SmackDown is that Baron Corbin can learn so much from him, dude. He can learn so much from Samoa Joe.
Yes.
I wonder how much Samoa Joe has talked to the Authors of Pain. They probably learned a lot from that.
Oh, yeah.
Unless Samoa Joe is just never around. Well, they went on that big tour together, and they were tagging together. I guarantee they learned a lot from Samoa Joe. Yeah.
But he's not the Performance Center.
No. He doesn't need finishing class.
So
he's finished.
Samoa Joe wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
Takes on Cena.
Samoa Joe.
or do the triple threat, Cena, AJ, Joe, for the WWE title. Main event, huge money match.
I like it.
Great.
I like it.
Be a great match.
Finn versus AJ at Mania. Can we please go and see Finn versus AJ at Mania? Can that happen?
Okay.
Please?
I'm sure it will at some juncture.
Who do I have to talk to?
Probably Vince.
Come in, boys. Sit down, please.
Oh, we're finally granted our audience with Vince,
Yes,
huh?
we are. What do you guys want to see at WrestleMania?
See, I'd say I want to see AJ and Kenny Omega. And you would say AJ and Finn Balor.
Yeah, of course. Well, Steve, that's a good idea. We have them both under contract.
How about this?
You are fired.
How about this, Vince? Let's see both of them at WrestleMania, both of those matches. AJ wrestles twice.
Oh, like Yokozuna. Better all-around in-ring performer, AJ Styles or Yokozuna. Go.
It's AJ Styles.
I like that. Yeah, Samoa Joe would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. I'm not sure, like, what the crowd would pop. The crowd's definitely gonna,
yeah.
Look, this is going to he's going to be in the Rumble. The crowd's going to pop. Would it be too weird if he wins, though, for them to pop big? I don't know, man.
Not today.
Not today.
People appreciate good work. And
Oh,
Samoa
of
Joe has
course.
been doing great work for more than 10 years, dozen years or so.
I could see him standing tall at the end of the Rumble. That's the thing. He's one of the few. I could see it happening with him.
Yep.
And then number one, Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
You
So,
just made the list.
I still contend that the Universal title match that should happen at WrestleMania is Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. That should be the match.
You know what? After discussing Goldberg and Lesnar, the match should be Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. That's what it should be.
Well, that's what it's going to be.
I know, and I'm fine with that. Take the Universal title off. Put it up to the big boys.
Because
give it to the big boys.
No, because
give
the
it to
whole
the big boys.
The U.S. title thing is just a new addition, obviously, to give them a title to fight over at WrestleMania. But the whole time they've been aligned, it's been
I know.
Chris Jericho and
I
Kevin
know.
Owens are the Universal Champion. Let that story play out till its end as them both saying the Universal Champion, till they disagree, till Owens goes on the list. They have a match for it. Jericho wins at WrestleMania. That would be a huge pop. And then next night on Raw, Owens destroys him, gets the belt back, and they can write Jericho off TV so he can go on tour with his band.
Let the part-timers take the big boy belts. Let the full-timers be happy with the U.S. title. Then one day, Kevin Owens will be a part-timer. He'll get the Universal title back. That's how it should be.
No.
The big belts go to the part-timers.
The matches with the part-timers don't need belts.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Well, that's the thing that I said, and you said no, but it adds more to it.
Well, because it's a match between The Undertaker and Cena. Cena is still arguably a full-timer. Arguably.
You would want to see Goldberg with that Universal title? It'd be great.
It would be great, but I'd rather see Owens and Jericho fight for it at WrestleMania.
Here's my thing, is that we've said for like a month now how we feel WrestleMania is going to go down. I would love it if it went down in a completely, I don't want to say bizarre, but
Unexpected,
unpredictable manner. That's
as
what I want.
As long as it's still satisfying.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't say unpredictable as in I want Roman Reigns versus whatever, Brock Lesnar, because we wouldn't have seen that coming. I want some real surprises. I want to go there and be like, wow, this is a great show with a great cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see any of this coming. And I'm very satisfied because it all makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Will we get that in the era of Vince waking up and changing his
Who
mind on
knows?
a whim? Probably not. But I still like our Goldberg Lesnar scenario.
Yeah.
I still like that. But then guys like Finn Balor, I like everybody on this list. At this point, the guy that I want to win least, it's probably Braun, even though we've been calling him as the winner for a while, because that would just lead to him versus Roman Reigns.
I know.
We all that's the most boring thing that could possibly happen. And that's one reason why I think we've both been calling that for such a while. Goldberg winning makes things kind of interesting. Because then what do you do if Roman Reigns wins? That's weird. If Kevin Owens retains and beats Roman Reigns, that's rad. But then Goldberg's going to fight him at Mania? That's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't want to see Kevin Owens versus Goldberg? That's kind of cool at Mania.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that. There's a lot of great storylines here right here. Anyways, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.